Geolocation. Have you ever noticed that when you click on Google Maps and you're looking for directions, you can click the Find Me button or something similar to that and it will actually find your current location? This is called geolocation, and we can access the location of a user at any time. But of course, we cannot do it without their permission first, since this very clearly invades their privacy. And geolocation is supported in all 5 browsers. Now again, we use JavaScript. We use the getCurrentPosition function in JavaScript to find where someone is. So I wrote a small chunk of code here. We have our paragraph. We've called it coords, short for coordinates. There's nothing inside it, so it won't really show up at all, as you see down here. We have our button, onClick, and onClick, it gets my position. Now remember when we onClick something, it calls a function in JavaScript? So let's look at our functions. We have getMyPosition and showPosition. And then we just have our text inside our button, and our button shows up as find me. So we have a variable, myLoc, or my location, gets the coordinate ID, which is our paragraph, and our function getMyPosition. So if your navigator supports geolocation, so if it is an HTML5 browser, then your navigator will grab the current location from showPosition. Otherwise, if you have an older browser, one that does not support geolocation, your inner HTML for myLocation, remember that myLocation is equal to coordinates. So how I did that was myLocation variable, get element by ID, coords, and the ID of this one is coords. So if you have an older browser, geolocation is not supported by this browser, is what it will show up with. If you do have an HTML5 browser that does support geolocation, your function is going to call another function called showPosition. So let's look at this one. showPosition and the position. So we have myLocation.innerHTML, and that will change the inside HTML of the element. And we just wrote latitude is equal to position coordinates latitude. We added a line break in there. Longitude, position coordinates longitude. Now let's see what happens when I click this button. Shows up with latitude and longitude. Now I should alert you that if you try to run this in your browser, you may run into a security problem. The browser will, by default, protect your location. So you might need to go into your settings and change your location or position settings. Once you upload the script to a website, the browser will ask if you want to allow, for example, your website name.com to access your position, and it will save it for you. Some browsers vary. Settings depend on the browser and version, obviously. And again, you may have noticed that we used the onClick attribute. When you click the button, by default nothing will happen because it's not in a form. Its type is also not set to submit, so it's not really going to do anything. When you add the onClick attribute, you're adding functionality to the button. So as you see from here on, our websites are starting to become more and more alive.